Thank you. I might point out that on the table there are two newspaper articles. One is from the New York Times, which deals with the issue of refugees, and one is today's version of the Danbury News Times, which has an interesting article about IRIS and the group in New Milford, which is about to place, or has placed I think they're about to place a family. So they're right on the table there. If you want to come up afterward, we'd be happy to have you. What is IRIS? Well, it stands for Integrated Refugee and Immigration Services. It's a fairly old organization. It was founded in 1982 by the Episcopal Social Service Group, and it continued under their aegis for a number of years and then became independent. It is located in New Haven, and they have office hours Monday through Thursday from 9 to 5, and Friday on 9 to noon. It is, as it was, a non-profit social service agency. Their mission is to help refugees in as many ways as possible and to help them become good Americans. Last year, they had a bumper year, and they settled approximately 249 refugees. This year, they are handling 75% more. A little bit with the help of Governor Malloy, who, if you remember, welcomed the group rejected by Governor Pence of Indiana. He has been very supportive of this. So 75% more this year. Right now, there are 32 Connecticut groups have sponsored refugees. 5 are waiting. They have finished all the requirements as we have, and about 12 are in process. So it's a really ongoing thing. IRIS will do lots of things for us, but they will not select families based on nationality or religion. You have to get a green light from IRIS, and you have to give them a green light. IRIS, as we said before, is one of the 3 groups in Connecticut doing this, sponsored by the federal government. But it's the one we like because they use, a lot of them are very faith-based that work with IRIS. There is this, one of the things you have to have is a resettlement team. They request that you have at least 10 people who are very dedicated and who will give a lot of time. And as a matter of fact, we have 10 different committee chairs and they certainly fit that bill. Then we have lots of other people who come to the meetings and are very interested, but don't happen to be committee chairs. We also have to be confident that we can secure housing on 2 weeks' notice. I point out to our wonderful Cindy Dunn, our wonderful housing person, because that is quite always a little bit of a worry, but we have to say we will do that. We have to have all the furniture and household goods either in place or pledged. We have to raise between $4,000 and $7,000. That's what IRIS suggests. Bethel told us that isn't enough. They'd had a few issues, and they said 10 would be better. Bingo, we raised 10. And then, thanks to our Mormon friends, down county, not in Newtown, but down county, there was a Mormon person or family who donated $10,000. So we're fine financially. It's really great. Also, at least 3 of your group have to spend a day being learned, being vetted at headquarters in New Haven. And I believe, if I remember correctly, between the 2 times we had 8. Does that sound right, Rick?
Oh, it was more like 15.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So a lot of us went to that, and we spent the whole day there and learned a lot. There's a responsibility of co-sponsorship. There are about 14 issues they single out. 3 are just one word. One is helper, one is friend, and one is advocate. Helper helps a refugee in many situations, especially financially. Friend, any refugee situation, there will be ups and downs emotionally. The friend should be there to help them with that and also guide them. An advocate is a person that if any way the refugee family is not being treated fairly, the advocate will go to bat for them, either in the law or the school or whatever it would be. So those are the three key words, but then you also have to secure short-term housing and provide rental assistance for up to 6 months. You have to prepare the apartment. They don't have to be new furniture, gently used, they said is fine, plus household goods, plus new mattresses and box springs. And one wonderful lady from this church donated the money for that. So that was terrific. We also have to prepare, well, we said that, and that is, we have a committee that will really handle that well. We also have to provide gently used clothing in season, and just recently Hassan has asked that we could help the group that are in Bethel, who they came without any winter clothes. For those of you in our church or in Newtown, you probably know about our Cornerstone, which is downstairs, open 5 or 6 days a week, and it gives wonderful clothing. This shirt I have on is from the Cornerstone. Maybe my underwear. And it's very reasonable. And Judy Craven, our wonderful chairman, said, bring them on. And they got a whole lot of clothing, and it was all free. And when we get our family, it will be the same as needed. So that's one thing we need to do. Also, we have to provide the initial basic supplies. Mary's in charge of that, I believe, and like groceries, and also a dinner. You need at least one dinner that's ethnically accurate for them, welcoming dinner, maybe more. And there's lots more to that as well. Also, we need to assist the family in obtaining Social Security cards. That will be important. And also applying for the various health things that we offer them, like Husky, which is medical insurance, and something called SNAP, which is basically food stamps, something I had never heard of, TFA, which is temporary family assistance. The initial financing, we do a lot, but also the federal government and the state government help as well. So it isn't just the Newtown group that is doing this. We also have to bring the family to Iris for 3 consecutive days for cultural orientation. This is required by the federal government, and they have to be consecutive days. Also, we have to bring each family member to Yale New Haven Hospital Primary Care Center for health assessment. They do have health assessment overseas as well. But once they get here, there is another process, and that may take 3 separate rides because they say that you can hardly ever schedule the whole family on the same day. So we're just so happy that a number of you have signed up for transportation. Bethel said to us that, Brookfield said to us that you need at least 2 Monday morning, maybe 3 at first, so Monday afternoon, and maybe 2 in the evening, 2 on the weekend, every day of the weekend, for a while. Later it gets easier. So we really are happy with you transportation people because we need you desperately. So these are 2 reasons we have to bring them to Iris, and they have to bring them to Yale New Haven Hospital. Also, we have to enroll the adults in English classes and assist with the high school or local school registration for the children. Ultimately, and this is really a challenge, to help them find a job. She is one of the 2 in charge of this, and we don't know their educational level. We don't know who's the breadwinner. We don't know their age. We don't know if they were in an occupation. So this is a real challenge, although they've been working on it. And finally, we need to orient the family to local conditions: shopping, transportation, banks, customs, and laws. It's a big order. There's lots to do, but we're thrilled to be part of it. I'd like to introduce Hassan, who will talk to you about the principles that volunteers need to think about.